defeat Giant Goomba. This should be the last mission. Kinda ironic that we're ending this with like the first giant battle. I already have my team selected, and I also already did the trees. Defeat Giant Goomba.
Fear not, Spawny. We'll have you free from this accursed, not to mention very unsafe tower of Brastrellas in no time. No time is of course a turn of phrase, and not to be taken literally. Nonetheless, hang on, Spawny, we're coming!
Spoiler alert, he does not speak in this. Defeat Giant Goomba. So, at the top of each one of these towers, the final level will always be defeating one of the giant bosses. I was fine with this the first time I like learned about this, but a lot of people I know actually point out how, you know, it would have been nice to actually refight the Spark Hunters. Like, I guess lore-wise it wouldn't make any sense, but granted, I don't know where the heck this takes place lore-wise, so... I assume it would be after the whole battle with Cursa, but... who knows? Spawny is just over here. We can't even really interact with him. In fact, I think I actually have people clip through the box he's in. And again, he's not gonna say anything. He's just here. So, again, our goal is to defeat the giant Goomba. I can... so getting everyone over there is gonna be the hard part. I'm gonna have both 50% heal. That ain't bad. I think I can roll with that. I'm gonna let him get closer before I do anything drastic. That didn't really do all that much. And I guess Rampart, you can just spawn your Oozer. He's also not gonna do much. Really only gave you this because it gives you Attack Master. Alright. Mission shows up. Squash Net's gonna try to make that jump, but can't. Squasher. Take away his ability to attack, it doesn't matter because he can still dash. Rat Mario, you get the punch. And we can back you up. Rapper Rosalina, you get to just fill him with lead. And Edge... you can't really do anything, so again, we're just gonna sit back and I'll take pop shots at him. Hothead Gooms are still trying. I'm pretty sure I put Wake Up Slap on, yeah. So I'm gonna walk over here. I think I'm just gonna put both these guys to sleep. And I think I'm actually gonna have Edge hit him. He is really big, so in theory this should do a lot of damage. And Mario, you can just come over here and punch him. It's a little too close. And we run back. Once again, they're not gonna make it here. I think I'm literally just gonna have Rat Mario drag him back after this. I mean, granted, last time I used glitter on this guy, who did not end well. I mean, I didn't die, but you know, like I still took damage. Reflect just in case. I don't know if he's ever gonna reach us in time, but I know the range on Stormblade is pretty big. Well, I mean, relatively big. So we're going to pass it.
Go on.
Actually has range there. Okay, it does just push her a bit. We haven't taken out any enemies, which is the reason I think none of them are spawning right now. Gonna actually have Mario get bounced forward a bit. Well, he's gonna get bounced forward. He's also still gonna get hit, but I can live with that. Crap, Ed, I should have moved her. Because he's absolutely just gonna... Oh, come on, Rabbit Rosalina's dead. I didn't even realize that she was in range for that. Okay, well this just instantly got bad. I'm hoping that somehow distracts him. I know Rabmar can get Edge out of here. 100% heal. I didn't even realize, even though she wasn't even in front of him, it must have just been like a turnaround thing. There goes a good chunk of our damage gone. You don't think this pothead Goomba can reach us? He's not going to try. Okay. There we go. Back up again. I guess I can do this. It's not going to deal that much damage. It's max level, but it's not going to do that much. That's 60 damage. I guess it's better than nothing. Can't believe I lost Rabbit Rosalina like that.
Take it easy.
Goomba still tries to march in. He should be dead this turn. At very least somewhat. Gotta attack Rob Mario first. Back up. Alright, healing card again. See what I mean? Those things are really useful. No, not quite. Maybe this could get him.
They fall hard.
All clear.
The future is not fully predetermined, yet even I could not have predicted our heroes would triumph over such odds. Nor could I have foreseen what would happen next. As overjoyed as Spawny was to reunite with the heroes, he was not the same timid rabbit as when they last saw him. Having always been curious about the wonders of the universe, Spawny put the dramatic events surrounding the Megabug behind him and wandered the galaxy alone in search of himself. Naive? Perhaps. Yet, he felt in his heart that if he were ever in real danger, his old friends would be there for him. And so they were. Spawny bade goodbye to the heroes and went in search of more life-affirming experiences from which to grow. Meanwhile, I reached an epiphany of my own. It was not I whom the fates sought to punish. How could it be? It must be the heroes! Therefore, I would encourage them to return again and again, each time pushing the limits of their courage, their strength, their hope, all within the Tower of Doom!
Expedition successful. We beat Classic Mode. After you beat a tower, you get a little recap of everything you had. And we also get our best turn limit, enemy, the number of times we're KO'd, enemies defeated, damage dealt. Stats I'm not pretty sure most people wouldn't care. We also get new weapon skins. And we unlock Premium Mode. So, this is the last episode I'm going to be doing on this, but I am going to still explain a lot of other stuff. So you return. Excellent. Now which Tower of Doom curated experience do you see? Classic or Premium? Classic mode is where you is basically where you replay the quote-unquote story of this DLC. You know, go through and try to save Spawny. Premium mode is different because this is how you unlock the rest of the weapon skins. I'm gonna be honest with you here, I don't think... Well, it says take on the Tower of Doom at a higher challenge level. And I don't really know if it does get harder, well, like the higher the level it is. It kind of all really felt the same to me when I played through it the first time, but you do have to actually beat each and every one of these. I'm pretty sure there are 8 towers because there's 9 heroes you need a skin for each in order to get all the weapon skins. Speaking of the skins, if we go here, we can actually see a progression screen. We haven't actually, this is also something that's on the, it's going to be in each and every one of these DLCs, but I didn't show it off in Sparks of Hope for a reason. In order to 100% the Tower of Doom, you need to find all 30 Sparks, have all, at the very least, have all 9 heroes in your team, get every single weapon skin, and the worst one is encounter every enemy. Now, I'm going to explain to you why that's the worst one, but in order for me to do that, we have to head to my personal save file, my first time playing through it. Not the same, if I'm being honest here. So, that was the wrong button. Let's head to the progression screen. Now, there you can see that this is my personal save file. I have 100% of this thing. All 30 Sparks, all 9 heroes, all 9 weapon skins, and all 25 enemies encountered. Now, I want to talk about something that really made me mad. So, as you can see, I played through every single tower. Like I said, I don't really know if there was a difference between like any of the the numbers or scaling. And after number 8, I went to go see if I had beaten everything. Because realistically speaking, I thought that, hey, I beat every tower. Clearly, I must have had everything. I didn't. I did not have every single spark in all the enemies encountered. Now the spark thing was fine. All I had to do was just start another save file. I basically got that the second it happened. You start off with random sparks. You're basically guaranteed to get a new one at some point. It was enemies encountered that really was the stinker. Because I was missing, I think it was like 3 or 4. I had somehow got through the Tower of Doom without keeping track of what enemies I had. Now, obviously, I didn't check that out the first time. And something I didn't know was the, I'll just click a random one.
Very wise and beware. Think carefully.
Yeah, let's just do this.
So...
So yeah, here we are, start off premium mode. What I didn't know is that there was actually a show info screen, which, when, back in like, I guess it was technically like the first episode where I showed that off, maybe the second one, I don't remember. If the show info screen will actually show you if there is an enemy that you haven't encountered yet, a spark that you don't have, or basically like that stuff. It'll show you any sparks you don't have or an enemy you haven't encountered yet. I did not know that. I genuinely did not know that because I never paid attention to the fact that it was a show info screen. Obviously, I'm very familiar with these enemies, and so the fact that I didn't actually go come against them was kind of annoying. So I didn't know what enemies I had to face and what enemies I didn't. Like I said, by the time I completed all 9 towers, I by the time I completed all 9 towers, I still had some enemies missing. So what I did is I created a checklist and made sure I did everything twice. I'm talking, I went on, I think I used Google Sheets, weirdly enough, not like Google Docs. I used Google Sheets, jotted down every single enemy in the game, and then went through the towers so many times in order to check every single one of them off the list. I think it's also how I figured out that giant bosses are also considered enemies in there. Again, you don't need to defeat them, you just need to encounter them, so play a level with them in it. And it took me so long. I am not kidding. You can see there at the bottom right, my playtime. 48 hours, and we're just gonna ignore the whole, like 13 minutes and stuff, because I'm just gonna assume that's, just stuff I already had. And I made sure specifically, because I knew I was gonna let's play this game, to stop after I beat the last tower and got 100%. Now, you guys know how fast and loose I like to play this game. So let's be generous and say that one run of a tower took me 1 hour. Some probably took me more, some probably took me less. But let's just say one run of a tower took me an hour. I had to do 48 runs. 48! In order to encounter every single enemy I had. Now, keep in mind, like I said, I had a list that I was checking off each time. You wanna know what the last enemy was? A bomb. Somehow through 48, I'll even shorten it down. Somehow due to 45 towers of this, I didn't run into a single bomb. I don't get it. I don't know how that's possible, but it just happened. Now, granted, it wasn't that bad, because like I said, this is something I kind of wish that was in Kingdom Battle, just like an infinite mode, that way I can just just play levels and see how far I can get. Obviously, there is no truly infinite mode in this. It's not like, you hit 10, you do it's not like a knockout mode or something like that. Something to keep, to actually, let it go on forever. And so I'll admit that really did annoy me. Not as much nowadays because, it's been said, it's been said and done. I ain't gotta worry about it. What I do have to worry about is how they treated Spawny in this DLC. If you don't care, you can just skip forward. The video basically is gonna end right here. But I've just gotta rant about this, because holy crap. Okay, so when I first played through Sparks of Hope, the base game of Sparks of Hope, I was really surprised to see that Spawny was not in the game. It was weird to me because he was essentially the catalyst for this entire series. It's because of him Rabbids are now in the Mushroom Kingdom. It's because of him that some of these characters even exist. He was such a core part of the story that it feels weird that even if he wasn't going to be a major player in this DLC, you would assume he at the very least would show up. Even in his statue in Kingdom Battle, he's being held by Princess Peach. I don't know why the heck she couldn't have carried him around or something like that, or heck, just leave him on the ship as an NPC or something. They didn't do that. They basically just didn't have him in the game, which is so bizarre to me. He gets referenced once in a memory. It's a memory that you probably wouldn't even notice until you completely beat Beacon Beach, or probably after you got your first Beacon Beach memory. And then saw there was actually a bunch of them. I nearly missed it. I nearly missed it myself. I probably wouldn't have known until I was going through 100%. That's all he gets. Outside of that one memory, he has nothing else to do with that game. But then I saw the Tower of Doom, the little trailer art they have for the Tower of Doom. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be extremely excited to see what they do with him here. The rabbits are talking now. Maybe we'd be able to actually hear his voice. And what do? Absolutely nothing with him. Holy crap. You would assume that he would be a big part of this DLC, and technically he is, but he doesn't do much. We don't escort him, he doesn't speak. Heck, outside of that one animation, we don't even see him do anything else. He feels like a last-minute addition, which doesn't really make that much sense to me. I don't know why he would be. You would assume he'd be a big part of this DLC, but no, he literally feels like a last-minute addition just thrown in because, people were asking where would a character that important just disappear to. I didn't even realize this until I was making the title for my first video, but how did he even get here? Again, Peach didn't take him with him. Didn't take him with her. You probably could have just, like, had him stay at the castle. That would have been fun. Like, even if we couldn't protect Peach's castle, at least we would know where he was. But no, he doesn't show up. And again, I fully acknowledge that I care a lot more about this character than probably anybody else does. He is my favorite Rabbid, hands down. Even in this game, well, I mean, in this game, Rabbid Mario is, like, a really freaking close second. Like, he is just way too funny. I love his personality, love his voice acting, but that's not the point. I get that I care about Spawny a lot more than probably most people already do. A lot of people probably don't even care. But it feels so weird to me that this is how he's treated. Even if you don't care about Spawny, we can all agree that's kind of weird, right? A character that important to the first game, scrubbed clean in the second game, and in a DLC that's presumably starring him, he's not even in. Is that not weird to anybody else? Another thing I don't like is pretty much how they changed his character. Spawny's whole thing is that whenever he got scared or stressed, he would fire a super merge beam which would cause chaos. It's pretty simple. You know, that's the reason, like, we have to go find him to make sure Bowser Jr. couldn't exploit that. And, you know, it also gave birth to the Mega Bug, which was technically a virus that was in the headset when it got to the Mushroom Kingdom, but that's not really the point. And here, all of a sudden, he's not shy or timid. I get character growth, but does that not kind of defeat the entire purpose of, like, how he fundamentally works? It generally just feels like they gave Cursor the ability to merge things together and they just said, screw it to Spawny. I don't get why, because, like, again, there's not much character there, and yet you still manage to mess it up somehow. How do you do that? You take a character who does not have much going for him, other than just being cute, scared, and timid, which ties into how his powers work, and you have him do nothing. He's not even here anymore. I would have loved if he was, like, whenever you play Classic Mode, he was just, like, I don't know, sitting on a book, or, like, a pillow, or sitting next to Malibu Estrella. You just talk to her, like, you can just, like, come back here and talk to him, or anything. I would have loved to actually hear any new voice lines, but I'm pretty sure they just reused the same ones from the first game. Same with his animations. He feels like such a last-minute addition that they just threw in because, again, people were wondering. In theory, you could probably pull that off. You know, like, change a little bit of art. Obviously, I doubt changing art would be easy, but change a little bit of art, make a couple of stills for him, and then just say he left. I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And I know I'm probably one of the only people that's ever going to point this out. I cannot acknowledge that enough. I'm probably the only person that cares this much. But it's strange to me. Frankly, I am more than willing to see this entire thing as non-canon. Well, at least headcanon-wise, it's non-canon. I already know I have to fully, like, register the fact that this, in fact, did happen. That's just how it is. I don't approve of it, but it's not my story. I can acknowledge that and accept that. I just hate the fact that that's how it was done. I doubt anyone at Ubisoft is going to care about my opinion on this, but I really do think you guys dropped the ball. It's crazy to me, like, in a DLC that was something I kind of wish was in the main game, well, that was in Kingdom Battle. The DLC also kind of wrecks a character I really liked from Kingdom Battle. Because, like, it feels like such a mishandling of a character that I can't even, like, go on, like, I can't even list it. Actually, I basically have, but it's just so bizarre to me. With that said and done, this was the Tower of Doom DLC. Like I said, it was pretty short, only 3 episodes. And thankfully, we get to move on to something a little bit bigger and beefier next time. Till next time, stay cool.